Look, as a parent, you want to do everything you can to protect your children, and that is especially true if your child has an illness or a health condition. Now, my next guest, Rebecca, has an 8-year-old son who suffers from eczema. She says caring for her son's condition is one thing, but dealing with the reaction of others is something altogether different. Take a look.
My youngest son, Xander, is a very spunky, energetic boy. He suffers from a skin condition called eczema. He started to get these red patches on his cheeks. It made me feel helpless.
Go, Xander!
Xander loves swimming, but that's when kids will notice his eczema because they can see it on his legs or his stomach, and they'll say, "What's wrong?" When Xander does tell me that other kids have been mean to him, I can tell that he is sad. I worry that he may be bullied. What do you think? Is it yummy?
Yeah.
Today, he's for the most part a very happy, friendly kid who just loves living life. But children and adults don't understand his skin condition.
Well, Rebecca is joining me now, along with our very good friend, Dr. Freda Lewis-Hall, the Chief Medical Officer of Pfizer. So welcome.
Glad
to have you back. Now, Rebecca, your son was diagnosed with eczema when he was about 6 months old, right?
Yes, that's
So how is he handling the condition now?
For the most part, he handles it very well.
What about his emotional feelings about his eczema? How does he deal with that socially and emotionally?
He'll occasionally come into contact with children or parents that have negative comments. He says it doesn't bother him, but I can see the sadness in his face.
So, Dr. Freda, tell everybody, what exactly is eczema, and is it contagious?
Yeah, so it's a skin disorder, and it can be extremely uncomfortable and debilitating, but it is not life-threatening, and it is not contagious. About 30 million Americans suffer with some form of eczema. The most common type is atopic dermatitis, and it affects about 13% of children under the age of 18.
13%?
13%. Now, about half of them will outgrow the disease or will develop a milder form as they grow into adulthood. The others are going to be managing a chronic disorder that'll require careful management.
So what are the symptoms of eczema?
Eczema in children usually develops before the age of 1. I think you said Xander was about 6 months old. And the symptoms include patches of skin that are dry, scaly, red, sore, and swollen. And of course it itches and the children scratch it. That intensifies the itch, they scratch it some more, and it can become infected.
You got to see your doc, right, and get the diagnosis.
Sometimes your doctor will refer you to a specialist like a dermatologist or an allergist. And then once you get the diagnosis of eczema, you can set treatment goals, put a treatment plan in place, and that may include things like prescription medications and some things that you'll do to manage it at home. Regular bathing, moisturizing every day, and also using the proper products, things that are fragrance-free or are designed for sensitive skin. And Rebecca, you mentioned triggers or flare-ups. So the other thing is to really know what causes or triggers a flare-up in your child. That way you can help avoid it, but you can also share that information with your healthcare team so that they can ensure that you're getting the appropriate treatment.
Right. And so what's the best way for a parent to manage the child's eczema? Because how do you keep a kid from scratching?
Yeah, so that is the hard part. It is very difficult to keep a child from scratching, but you continue to encourage them to do so, and keeping those nails as short as possible is also a help to, prevent infections and things.
Yeah. You mentioned concern for your son because of the way others react to his eczema, and children with this disorder cope with a lack of understanding from other kids and sometimes adults. And there is this unfounded fear that it can be contagious, and it can lead to a lot of teasing and a lot of isolation. So when kids feel like they're alone, that makes it tough. If you can get even one friend, one kid and his parents that you talk to about this, where they really understand it, So he's got a buddy that knows what's going on, is fully abreast of it, so he never feels alone. And you'll find it easier if you start with the mom.
And this is so very critical. A recent survey by the National Eczema Association actually found that at least 20% of children with eczema have been bullied because of their disease, 20%. And about 75% of parents come back like you and say, well, as a result of this, they're experiencing lower self-esteem. So this is a critical issue to manage. It's good that you've really worked as you have to stay on top of it and keep him encouraged.
So parents, you can find a wealth of information on eczema, tips on managing the condition, and links to plenty of helpful resources at gethealthystayhealthy.com. There's lots of info there, and give yourself time because this is a fun website to go to. You'll find other stuff there, right?
Absolutely. And while you're there, you can sign up for our monthly newsletter, which brings lots of important information right to you.
Yeah, Robin and I get it. So it's gethealthystayhealthy.com. You will love it, I promise.